Welcome everyone. I'm going to be your instructor today. My name is Dave Dunphy. For those of you that haven't attended one of my sessions before, I've been on sabbatical for a bit as I moved from California to Florida. So I'm coming to you today from Miami. And this is the first of what I hope to be many Saturday morning sessions on Sahaja Online under the general platform of meditation, the inner journey. So today we're going to, because there's been recently, in accordance with the lunar calendar in India, a period of time called Navaratri, where negativity, it's viewed as a good time to overcome negativity, obstacles to our spiritual ascent, and so forth. We're going to talk a little bit about that today and have a meditation that actually introduces overcoming those obstacles to our ascent during the meditation itself. Then we can open it up for any questions. And that'll kind of do it for today's session. So we'll have a period of guided meditation, and then after that, we'll meditate in silence for a bit, just to see if we can establish that state of thoughtless awareness. And then that will conclude today's session. So this period of time that was just this past week in India, as I said, is called Navaratri. And it's a period of time within the Indian lunar calendar that it's looked upon as being a period where you can begin to eliminate negativity, eliminate obstacles to our ascent. And if you've attended Sahaja Online sessions before, you know that the subtle centers or chakras have inherent qualities that are associated with them, which when they become integrated and they are through meditation cleared out, you begin to express those qualities automatically in your being. So instead of thinking about, as an example, becoming more loving and compassionate, if the center or chakra of the heart is open and sustained, you will just begin expressing that more in your day-to-day. So these negative emotions that I'm going to describe to you are basically the antithesis of the qualities of each of the various centers. So when we, in our unknowing, indulge in these emotions that I'm going to describe to you, we're kind of going against the qualities of the center, and it causes them to constrict. So if in our meditation and in our ascent and our day-to-day practice, we can begin to withdraw from indulging in these, we could call them the 6 obstacles to our ascent, then we can make more concerted progress, and our subtle centers or chakras will begin to open and integrate more easily. So starting at the first center, if the quality there is innocence and wisdom when it's integrated and properly emitting its essence, the antithesis of that is the emotion of lust. So this is an emotion which, basically makes our fellow human beings into objects of desire. And I mean objects. And so we kind of materialize people when we engage in that. And it causes problems for this first center. And if we go to the second center, the quality of this center is creativity, and the emotion that can begin to cause this center to constrict is anger. We've all had those days when we're out in traffic, especially in a place like where I live, in a big city in Miami, somebody cuts you off, you react in anger. So when we do that, it goes against the quality of this second center. Moving higher to the third chakra or center, the qualities here are generosity, evolution, and you could say satisfaction. So when we have a settled home life, when we are satisfied, our family life is complete, then we express our generosity. And the emotion that works kind of against this is greed. In the modern day, we're taught to run after material things and that they supposedly will give us happiness or satisfaction. But the truth of the matter is that wants in general cannot be satisfied. Once we satisfy one, we just get another. So greed is the emotion that works against this center. Moving higher to the number 4, love and compassion are the qualities of this center. So as I said earlier, when this center is all right and it's integrated, that emotion just begins to emit in our being, and we begin to more easily give that to others. The emotion of attachment to material and transitory things, and putting our sense of security in things that are transitory, is the emotion that works against this center. So when we get attached to outcomes, we get attached to things rather than and we put our security in those outcomes, that engenders fear and other emotions that work against this 4th center. Moving higher, the 5th center, this center's quality is collectivity. In other words, our connection to other people. When we meditate together and we are feeling the vibrations that emit as a result of the awakening of this inner energy and its passage beyond the 7th center, we become all connected. We, in fact, may well feel the same constrictions in the centers that all of us are feeling during a meditation. This is true collectivity, where we feel another within ourselves. So the emotion here that works against this center is jealousy, because it prevents us from perceiving the success of others as our own, and the fact that we are all interconnected at the subtle level. So when we indulge in this emotion of jealousy, it works against and causes this center to constrict. Moving higher to the 6th center, here the quality is including ourselves. Forgive us, our internet is just a little bit spotty today, so I'm hoping that you're able to get everything I'm saying. So I was just mentioning that forgiveness is the quality here, and that the emotion that works against this quality of this center is vanity or ego. When we become invested in our sense of I-ness, we foster our ego, we become self-justifying individuals in justifying all of our actions, and we look at the world through our own inner lens rather than perceiving it through the eyes of another. So the enemy, or we could say the obstacle to our ascent at the 6th center, is vanity. As we move to the 7th center, it has no obstacles because it's above them. Here, the quality is integration. So all of the qualities of all the centers become integrated when our inner energy reaches this 7th center. So when we do reach this point in meditation and we attain that state of thoughtless awareness, then our inner energy is sustaining and giving energy to all of the centers, nourishing all of their qualities to emit in our inner being. And this is where we really want to reside, especially when we're in meditation at the 7th center, where this integration takes place. So that's kind of a quick capsule on the obstacles to our ascent, these 6 obstacles, which are counter to the inner qualities of our subtle centers. So what we'd like to do now is we'll have a guided meditation where we give energy to the various centers, and And we'll basically ask that the inner energy to help us to overcome these negative emotions. And before we do, just as a review on doing the preparation, the subtle preparation for meditation, those of you who have attended sessions before know that we raise our inner energy and we put ourselves into Bantan before we meditate. So we're going to play a quick clip here that will review how this is done, and then we'll all do it together.
Sit comfortably on a chair and relax. You may close your eyes if it helps you to relax and focus. Now, focus your attention on the top of your head. The goal is to raise your inner energy to the crown of your head and tie it up. As the energy rises up your spine, it will gradually shift your consciousness into the state of thoughtless awareness. To raise your inner energy, first place your left hand in front of your lower abdomen with your palm facing your body. Then slowly raise your left hand to the top of your head, and as your left hand is ascending, rotate your right hand around it in a clockwise direction, swirling around and around until both hands are above your head. Now, imagine that you are tying a knot with a short rope, and using both hands, perform the gesture of tying a knot above your head, as if you were actually tying up your inner energy. Now, lower both hands, and starting with your left palm facing your lower abdomen, repeat this process of raising the energy and tying the knot 3 times. The second time, tying 2 knots at the top of your head. The third time, tying 3 knots at the top of your head. This technique will help focus your attention and raise your inner energy to the crown chakra or energy center. The goal is to raise the energy, achieve a connection to the universal cosmic energy through your crown energy center, and establish the state of meditation. Now, you want to form a shield of protection to protect your subtle energy system and to preserve your ability to remain in the state of thoughtless awareness. First, place your left hand on your lap, palm upwards. Next, place your right hand beside your left hip. Slowly raise your right hand over your head and sweep it down the right side of your upper body. Then sweep your right hand back up the right side of your body, over your head, and down the left side of your body. Repeat sweeping your right hand up over your head and down 7 times to form a shield.
All right, so let's all close our eyes. And now we'll do what you saw in the clip together. So let's do this collectively. Let's begin by placing our left hand in front of the lower portion of the abdomen and circling the right hand away. Let's raise our inner energy for the first time. Tilt the head back and tie it in a knot. And bring our hands back down. Inner energy. And this time, when we reach the top, tilt the head back and tie it twice. And then bring our hands back down. And then the third time, raise the inner energy, tilt the head back, and tie it 3 times. And now we're going to put a shield around ourselves in what's called a bandhan. So as it showed on the clip, we place our right hand in front of the lower left side of the body off the left hip and raise up the left channel over the top of our head and down the right, and back up the right over the top of the head and down the left. And that's one. So raise it up over and back. That's two. Over and back is three. Over and back is four. Over and back is five. Over and back is six. And one final time, over and back. Now let's just see if we can place our attention at the top of the head, the seventh center. And today, with our right hand, we're going to give energy to the various centers in an ascending manner, while asking that our inner energy help us to overcome the obstacles to our ascent. So let's begin by taking the palm of our hand or our fingers and placing them at the back, at the base of our spine, basically where the tailbone is. And here, let's say within ourselves, please help me to overcome lust. Now let's take the palm of the right hand and rest it in the lower portion of our abdomen in the center. And here, let's just say within ourselves, please help me to overcome my anger. You could say also, please let me express my creativity. Now let's raise the right hand to the upper portion of our abdomen in the center, just below the rib cage. And here, let's just say within ourselves, please let me overcome the emotion of greed. please let me express generosity and satisfaction. Now let us raise the palm of the right hand to the center of the chest. And here let us say within ourselves, please let me overcome my attachments and fear. And please let me express love and compassion and be secure in my connection to myself. Now let us raise the palm of the right hand to the throat in the center. And here within ourselves, let us say, please let me overcome my jealousy. And we can say, please let me express and become a collective being. Now let's raise the palm of the right hand to the center of the forehead. And here let us say within ourselves, please let me overcome the emotion of vanity and ego, expression of ego. And let me express forgiveness to others and to myself. Now let us take the palm of the hand and press it to the top of the head, the seventh center. And here let us say within ourselves, because there are no obstacles for this center, please let me experience the integration of my physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual being. Now let's just raise the right hand above our heads and see if we can feel the cool breeze. And let's take the right hand and rest it back upon our laps. And let's see if we can fully establish the state of thoughtless awareness. And we'll sit for some time in silence. Now, keeping our attention at the top of the head, the seventh center, let's just raise the left hand above the seventh center and see if we can feel the cool breeze. Now let's take that hand back down and together once more raise the inner energy 3 times as we did at the beginning. And we can all put ourselves into Bandhan 7 times. And we can slowly open our eyes. One of the advantages that we have when we meditate is we begin to see how emotions play across the field of our consciousness. Before the awakening of this inner energy, we simply react. And we're always in a state of reaction. But as we raise more and more of this inner energy, our attention becomes anchored in the central channel, and we can begin to see these negative emotions when they begin to express themselves. And one advantage that we have is because we are in that state of thoughtless awareness, we can witness when these emotions first start to rear their head and detach from them. So in the coming weeks, I would urge all of you to watch your attention. And as you experience one of these 6 obstacles that we talked about today, you detach from expressing that so that before it finds full expression in your being and on that subtle center, you actually detach from it. And the advantage that you have is when you do meditate on a regular basis, you can begin to witness yourself and how you interact with the world. So this is an exercise, you could say, to engage in over the coming weeks in your day-to-day, and see if you can detach from expressing these emotions, these 6 obstacles to your ascent. Because I think you'll find when you are able to do that, there is less undoing to do each time you meditate, because we're not having a constricting effect on the subtle centers, and we're actually reinforcing their inherent qualities. So I hope you all felt the inner energy in today's session. And if there are any questions about anything that I've covered, please feel free to express those in the chat function. We'll hang on for a few minutes if there are any questions, and if not, we will see you in, at least me, in 2 weeks at our next Saturday morning session of Sahaja Online. All right, it doesn't seem as if we have questions. So, oh, yep. So all of you enjoy your weekend. Thank you.